Alright, we have a Season 14 Cup game here for the round of 32. This is going to be Micah playing Crane against sruman playing Phoenix. So we have Seeker of Fire, Seeker of Air. Let me get the deck list open here. Okay, so the Crane deck running Dragon Splash, we have 3 Let Go, 1 Karmic Balance. Maybe we'll get to see that played this game. Restricted list card is Guest of Honor. The Phoenix deck is also running Dragon Splash, 3 Let Go, 1 Wanderer, 1 Masterpiece, Jade Masterpiece, which is a little bit unusual. Haven't seen that card in a little bit. But it's definitely not a bad card. Restricted list card is, of course, Tadaka. We have 2 Censure in there. I like to see the Ancient Masters in Phoenix if you're going to be running Censures. I'm actually not sure what the most recent Phoenix test is, if it's running Ancient Masters. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, it is on 3 Ancient Master, 3 Censure, okay. And yeah, that's what I would, that's generally what you'll see is the 3 Ancient Masters as the splash there in the Phoenix deck. It's just like a really versatile card, especially when you're running the Censures. But Tattooed Wanderer is good as well. So we see Brash Samurai with 1 Fate here, Ethereal Dreamer with no Fate. Phoenix gets the Passing Fate. Favorable Ground is good. Like, it's good with the Brash Samurai when you have other characters on the board. But just with the Brash Samurai alone, it's not going to be as strong. Still a good option to have here. We see Ethereal Dreamer on the Earth Ring and a Past Conflict. Let's see if Crane will attack here. Attacking water, I like that. So what you could do here is finds Manicured Garden, okay. What you could do here is you pull a defense and then you can just move home. Because the point of the watering is to bow the streamer, but if it's defending, then you bow it anyway. He could play an Against the Waves, but like if you're Against the Waves in an Ethereal Dreamer, that's like pretty okay. Fine Katana on Brash Samurai for the break. So it looks like he is going to commit for the break here. Just get this library out of the way. That seems solid. You could let go this Fine Katana since there aren't a lot of attachments in the Crane deck. It's not the highest value let go since it's just a 1 Fate Brash Samurai, but if you really want to keep that library, it's possible he doesn't have it though. And it looks like that's going to be it, unless Crane plays a conflict character, and we do see one, the Doji Fumiki. Phoenix still has 9 Fate. That is a lot of Fate. So we could potentially see like a Shrine Maiden to defend this attack. What is the province going to be? It's going to be Fertile, Meditations, or Upholding Authority. All of those are kind of not great here. I think he's probably hoping to find Fertile, and that is what he finds, because that at least denies the Seeker of Air Fate. Like, the effect is going to be really good for Phoenix no matter what. But giving him one card is not really a big deal. He has the Ornate Fan as well for the break. So, okay, court games though, that's pretty strong. Way of the Crane counters that. So if this does break here, that's going to be 2 breaks on turn 1 for Crane, and Phoenix has not even attacked yet. But he is massively ahead on Fate, the Phoenix player, since he only played the Ethereal Dreamer this turn, and then he got the passing Fate as well. So he'll have to do something with that Fate advantage. Firing, you could display the firing here if you have it. Although that could get Voice of Honored here, so maybe not the best idea. Embrace the Void on Fumiki, okay. Gonna get some Fate back. Nope, gets let go. So favor goes to Crane, still has the favorable ground for next turn, which is good. Guest of Honor sitting in a province there. Probably going to keep that. Keeps both of these characters, finds a Doji Whisper. Whisper is good if you don't want to play a big character here, like if you just want to save Fate for next turn, you can just play Whisper and then pass. Or you could play one of these other characters with some Fate, and then probably still get the passing Fate. I don't think Phoenix is going to take the passing Fate, right? Like, he has 16 Fate. He really needs to buy some characters here so that you don't just continue to break provinces. We do see the Guest of Honor with 3 Fate. Seems good. There's the Shiba Yojimbo. Crane does get the passing Fate, and we see a 4 Fate Kudaka. Okay, so draw phase, both players draw 5. There's actually only one Consumed by 5 Fires in the Phoenix deck. So he might not even have that in his hand right now, but either way he won't be able to play it, thanks to the Crane cancels being turned on. That would just be too dangerous to play it here. Of course, if Crane like faceplants into Upholding Authority, that could be a problem. We'll see what does happen here. Like, if he can get the Upholding Authority trigger and just discard all the cancels in your hand and then 5 fires you, that would be pretty bad. Especially like if he has another Embrace the Void for the Guest of Honor. He has a Cloud the Mind. Seems good. So what is Crane going to attack here? He's going to go... Okay, so he's going to go Military Earth. He doesn't actually have to worry about Upholding Authority if he attacks with one character, thanks to this favorable ground. He's only attacking with skill 2 though, so he really doesn't have to worry about it. We'll see if he plays some kind of pump here. You could just move home as well. Since you got the Ring Fate, you know where all the provinces are now. Unfortunately, using up the military attack here I feel like he probably should have gone political with this guest of honor, because now he won't be able to go military with the brash samurai at meditations. Like that was what you really wanted to do, right? So if you went political here and you found meditations, then he would have to do something to stop you from breaking it, and if you found upholding authority, you could just move home. He has a 4 shame, though. Okay. That's pretty good. So still getting the Earth Ring here would be very nice. And that is going to happen. Discards a fine katana at random. Not the biggest hit, but oh well. So Kudaka now, let's see. None of the Crane provinces have been revealed yet, so there's Manicured Garden, Magistrate Station, Meditations, and Shameful. Meditations you don't care about because you have 4 fate. Manicured you don't care about because he gains a fate, that's fine. The other 2, though, Magistrate Station and Shameful Display, are... Shameful Display is less of a big deal because Crane only has honored characters that are standing, but you definitely don't want to hit Magistrate Station and then not be able to break it. That would be pretty tragic. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's going to go water. So he wants to stand the Yojimbo. Or I guess he could bow the Brash Samurai also. But, like, Crane only has a political attack left anyway, so... Okay, finds Manicured Garden, so that's good. We see defense with Fumiki, so this is potentially dangerous if Phoenix is able to win this. And then bow the Brash Samurai, but Crane is pretty far ahead on skill here. Ooh, Censure cancels that court games. That is actually a pretty good censure there because you really want to keep this Kudaka dishonored, I think, since she has so much fate. If he's able to actually honor the Kudaka, then that's going to be a big pain when you're trying to keep those Voice of Honors turned on. We see Clarity of Purpose, okay. I feel like you don't cancel that. The other thing about court games is I was trying to think of what political buffs... Oh no, that doesn't matter actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because Ningyo is only 2 skill in political. So the clarity does resolve. Plus you wouldn't play Ningyo anyway because you could just bow it. Yeah, so Micah is going to win that on defense. So you have the choice now to attack with the Brash Samurai at the meditations, or just save him to defend. He does still have the favorable ground, so attacking is definitely not a bad move. You can... I was going to say you can get the fade off of a ring, but he is going for fire, it looks like. So that's not going to be a fade off a ring. You could first action Clarity here as well, since you're defending. Oh, he's going to first action Court Games, okay. Interesting. We do see a Voice of Honor on that. I am a little bit surprised on... Okay, well, that one would have changed who was winning, so... This is a lot of priority, though, by Micah on keeping this Kudaka dishonored here. I imagine he wants the firing to honor the guest of honor so that he can make sure that Voice of Honor is turned on for as long as possible. We see an Ornate Fan on Kudaka. We'll see if there's a let go for that. You can always favorable ground home if you're not going to win. But you... Yeah, I mean, I would probably just favorable ground home in case there's the against the waves. Or if he does decide to play Clarity again. No, he passes. Okay, interesting. So he's not really afraid of this military conflict, I suppose. We do see a Shrine Maiden that's going to get a Cloud the Mind. Discarding that Let Go would be a pretty big deal in some matchups, but not really in this one, since the Crane deck doesn't have a whole lot of attachments in it. Yeah, so we're seeing a Void Ring here at the Manicured Garden, and this is pretty bad now. If he does get this Void Ring, there is Assassinate. Crane could play Assassinate here. If he does get this Void Ring, it means Fumiki is going to die this turn, and that will turn off the Voice of Honor. Okay, favorable ground, moves in Fumiki, so it's 1-1 with the favor. And then he passes. Okay, I feel like that has to be a mistake. Because if you're going to use the favorable ground anyway, you might as well favorable ground the Brash Samurai home so that he can just defend the military attack. Like, he's 6 military, that's should be enough to defend anything, right? Not really sure about that one. Maybe he just really wanted to save the favorable ground, and so he was hoping that there was no conflict character or against the waves, but if that was the case, then why did he spend the favorable ground to prevent unopposed there? I don't know, that doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like that was just a small mistake there from Crane. We see a Secluded Shrine that's going to do pretty much nothing here as far as I can tell, but that's fine. He has some other characters here to play. Challenger with 4 Fate. Phoenix is going to get the Passing Fate again. So I would be a little bit scared here as Crane if I can't turn my Voice of Honors on, because if he has 5 fires, Embrace the Void, that's going to be pretty bad. We're seeing passes though, so maybe he just doesn't have it. Again, there is only 1 5 fires in the deck, so he's only seen slightly over half his deck here, so he could very well not have it. So Ethereal Dreamer on the Air Ring. Secluded Shrine on the Fire Ring. Generally, you want to use Secluded Shrine if there aren't any characters on the field that it matters for, like you don't have any, if your opponent doesn't have Tadaka and you don't have Solemn Scholar, You want to use Secluded Shrine on the ring that is least likely to be claimed so that it will count for favor. Least likely to be claimed by you, that is. You don't care if your opponent claims it. Because if you use it on fire ring and then you claim the fire ring, you don't get 2 rings from that, you only get 1, because you can't have the fire ring twice. But like if you claim the earth ring and you use shrine on the fire ring, that's 2 rings for favor. So Manicured Garden contesting the air ring. Air ring is pretty good here. You get that Kudaka trigger. You get the 2 fate off of it as well. 10 fate here for Phoenix. That's a lot. And yeah, you can't really defend this, can you? Like, he just doesn't really have a good defense here. So he's just going to give up that break. You don't really care about the airing effect. You would rather not have him get the Kudaka trigger, but I don't think you can really stop that. So it seems fine to just let the Manicured break here. What you can do now is, I think you attack military with the Challenger. That's what I'm guessing. You probably go fire. Ooh, he's going void, okay. So he's valuing clearing up this board more than honoring his challenger. Of course, he could have like a Way of the Crane. Goes at the meditations. You can defend this, but like defending it doesn't really do a whole lot. Unless you double storm or something. Okay, he is going to defend. No, maybe not. Okay, yeah, he is. So 4 to 2. We'll see what he has here. Way of the Crane. So that does give him the break. We'll see what Phoenix can play. Double Storm would not be enough now. That would just tie it. 1 Storm would prevent the break. 3 Storms would get you the win. Fine Katana, okay. That's good. That prevents the break. He has his own Fine Katana though, so just going to be a trade there. Okay, so we do see a Supernatural Storm get played. Crane still has Bonsai in the deck, yep, and that is what we see here. So he double Bonsais. So he's winning by 6 now, so another Storm here. Replaying the Storm would not be enough. Shrine Maiden adds a display of power to the hand. Still breaking, so we see a pass. He can play the Storm now to prevent the break. Either way, though, this seems like Phoenix is spending a whole lot of resources here just to stop him from breaking this. I guess we are seeing the cards in hand for Crane go down as well, though. So back to not breaking. If he has the 3rd Katana, he could play that, but good chance he doesn't have it. He could play a conflict character here. It would have to be Steward of Law. If you do that, you can also force shame if you need to. Or alternatively, you could just take the win here. Yeah, and that is what he is going to choose. Like, Phoenix basically has nothing now unless he against the waves. And Crane still has an attack. We do see an against the waves. No cancel there. If he does have a cancel in hand, I think he probably just has to save it for the 5 fires. Like, 5 fires would just be game over here, right? Tattooed Wanderer on Kudaka, wow. That's the only one in the deck as well. So let's see what she finds here. Shameful Display would be good to hit. Magistrate Station. Ooh, that is what he finds. Magistrate Station is fine, I think, because like he can stand up the Doji Challenger, but that doesn't really actually do anything. And then you just break it. So, ooh, Political Rival though. If he can stop the break here, this will be very strong. Phoenix with 10 cards in hand. Interesting. He only put 1 fate on the rival there. He still has 1 left in his pool. If he didn't have any other cards that he wanted to spend fate on this turn, then I think he would probably 2 fate the rival. So this implies what? That he might have a Steward of Law? What else costs fate? I think it's just the Steward of Law here. Jade Masterpiece, we see For Shame, attempted, Yojimbo cancels it. Jade Masterpiece, just for the stat here. So he still has a For Shame left in the deck. Only 6 cards in hand, though. So I feel like if he has anything there, anything here, it'll probably have to be the Political Rival. Interesting. Court games to honor a friendly character. Is he gonna noble sack this? Ooh, we see a quick Embrace the Void on the Kudaka. So if he does noble sack now, that will mean, yeah, he is gonna do it. Phoenix does get the 3 fate back, but man, that is so many attachments on that Kudaka that just got killed. Katana, a fan, a masterpiece, and the Tattooed Wanderer. It's unfortunate there that he had to use the Political Rival for that noble sack, especially having put 1 fate on it. But that's still, I think, a good play there for Crane. Getting rid of that Kudaka is really huge, especially if you can, if you have the cancel for the 5 fires. We see the Magistrate Station ready the Challenger. So he can go ahead and break Meditations now. It would have been so perfect if he was able to get the break in the last conflict, but unfortunately he was just 1 skill off there. So he will have to keep playing into the next turn. Going for fire. He will be first player next turn. So we'll see what he can do there. Phoenix doesn't have any conflicts left. Hey Arash, how's it going? I'm not 100% sure on not sending the challenger here. Oh, display of power, right. My bad. I forgot about that. Um, hmm. Yeah, so that's why he doesn't send the challenger, so he can keep favor. That was actually pretty risky. Like, if he displays that and turns off Voice of Honor, and then he 5 fires you, that would be pretty bad. It could be, like, I kind of think Micah just doesn't have the voice in hand, and sruman doesn't have the 5 fires. I feel like that's what's happening here. Don't know for sure. But like 5 fires there would have just been huge. So I have to imagine he doesn't have that. Toshimoko with 2 fate. Uh, this, like, he keeps having exactly enough fate on his characters for 5 fires to just destroy him. Micah is first player though, so if he draws into Way of the Crane, he can just play that immediately. Or he can just hope that Phoenix doesn't draw the 5 fires. Ooh, did he not draw it? What's happening? He's played 2 already. I think if he had... Oh wait, he only has 3 fate. I didn't pay attention to how much he was spending on characters, so he actually can't fires here. I mean, I think this game is a good example of why you run 2 copies of 5 fires instead of 1. That card is just like so strong when you can get it off at a good time. And so making sure that you can have it in your hand is really important. Dreamers are going to both go on the water ring. Interesting. Guest of Honor goes at the Stronghold. Contesting Earth. So he's going to defend with something here and then probably attack water. That seems like the play. Yeah, this seems pretty good for Phoenix. Like, he's just going to have people for every conflict pretty much. Plus, his supernatural storms are pretty huge here. I'm sure he has to have another one of those by now, right? Clarity of Purpose, as if he even needed that. You could switch this to military if you want to win for some reason, but that's probably a bad idea. Formal invitation on the Doji Challenger. Ooh, but that gets immediately let go. That would have maybe been a problem if he didn't have an answer to that. Weigh the crane to honor Doji Challenger. Like, if you move the Doji Challenger in there, hasn't used that storehouse yet. Plays Steward of Law into the conflict. So this could force him to use the stronghold if you force shame. Or just playing against the waves, I guess. That's fine as well. Cloud the Mind on Toshimoko, okay. Like, the problem here for Crane is that you want to be able to go military on your second attack. You have, what, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12? Which is, like, a lot. Ooh, Assassinate on Tsuki, that's really strong. That's one less defender that Phoenix is going to be able to have here. We see a pass. So he's going to let Micah have this Earth Ring that he played a Steward of Law to get. Karmic Balance. Oh, wow. It happened. That's actually really, really good here. I didn't pay too close attention to how many cards each player had in hand before that, but Phoenix only having 4 cards now is a pretty big deal. He might not have the storms he needs, and with no cards in the discard now, he can't replay any clarities or against the waves. Yeah, that's a really good play there. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to just come down to what Phoenix actually drew there. Ooh, discards Clarity at random. He did play one on the Prodigy already, I forgot about that. So you can attack with... Oh, he had the storehouse too, nice. I forgot about that. So he was saving the storehouse until he played the Karmic Balance. So now he's up 5 cards to 3. Yeah, so I mean, you attack water here, right? Oh, wow, big attack. Gonna try and break the magistrate station, I guess. But yeah, like the problem again... The problem now for Phoenix is that the stronghold attack with Doji Challenger and Toshimoko is like really big. Yeah, he's just not even going to defend this conflict here. Oh, wow, he has Away the Crane for the Guest of Honor. That might just close out the game here. Getting Away the Crane there was super strong. Now he can stand up this Guest of Honor with the Magistrate Station. Phoenix is going to need to do everything he can just to try and stop his stronghold from breaking. And I don't know if he has the cards to do that. So Watering does nothing, but it will stand up his Prodigy. Like, I almost feel like he should have just gone a different ring there and then played Clarity on the Prodigy, depending on what's in his hand. If he has Ningyos in his hand, then you could switch to the water ring on this stronghold attack. We'll see what he has here. Micah could have the admit defeat. No, he doesn't have fate. Never mind. Like, Micah is just going into this with a ton of skill on both conflict types. Let's see, he has 14 military and 5, 10, 13 political. So switching the conflict type does not do enough by itself. You still need to play cards here. If he has the storm, he could go up to 5, 8. Ooh, he doesn't have it. Unfortunate. If he had a storm there, I think he could have held off. Yeah. Micah breathing a sigh of relief there. It really just came down to whether sruman drew any cards that would prevent him from losing the game here. Yeah, Micah. So Micah realizes that he made a mistake when he didn't favorable ground the brass samurai home. I was talking about that earlier. Lost defender Ningyo's on the karmic. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like, if he just got the perfect draw there. We had supernatural storm too. Yeah, that karmic balance was really, really big. Alright, so well played. Micah is going to win. He wins his second game against Phoenix in a row in this Discord League Cup. So he will move on to the top 16, where he will play against the winner of Zarzucket versus Insidious. So that'll either be Phoenix or Scorpion. So he could have his third Phoenix matchup in a row, potentially. Of course, after that, it'll be the winner of a Unicorn Mirror, so he will get a break eventually. Yeah, hitting the Magistrate Station and not being able to break that was definitely unfortunate. Yeah, it was at least a very expensive Noble Sack. But yeah, good game there. So thanks everybody for watching, and I think that's going to do it here, so I'll see you guys next time.